لورينزو، أهلا بك على شاشة سكاي نيوز عربية.
It's great to see you again.
بيكر هيوز كان لديها سنة قوية. بالربع الثالث سجلتم طلبات بحوالي 8.2 مليار دولار، بالرغم من أن أسعار النفط تراجعت منذ بداية العام. كيف يتم التمركز اليوم للشركة ل 2026؟
Definitely, and first of all, I'm very proud of the Q3 results of Baker Hughes and what we've achieved year to date. I think it shows the resilience and also the breadth of the portfolio that Baker Hughes has as an industrial and energy technology company. And as we look at what's happening from a macro perspective, we are continuing to see a strong demand outlook on the rotating equipment, natural gas, LNG. And as we look at the oil field services, yes, that is subdued and we've seen some decline in 2025. We expect that to be soft in 2026, however, pick up in the second half of 2026. If you look at the conference and also what we've heard, energy demand continues to be increasing, and it's important that we supply the world with that necessity of supply. So as we look at international markets, we're still very positive with the outlook going forward.
فأنت مقتنع بأنه على الأساسيات النمو في الطلب مستمر. يعني برأيك أنت ما يحدث اليوم في أسعار النفط هو ليس بداية ربما ما يسمى بدورة جديدة من الأسعار المنخفضة، أو هو تصحيح مؤقت؟ ما هي نظرتك اليوم للسوق؟
I think you have to look at the oil price the way it is. It's a very emotional aspect. And I think as you heard this morning also, when you look at the long-term aspect, the extra supply that's coming on will be absorbed by the marketplace. And actually, when you look at the indicators from a standpoint of the future, we are relatively well balanced and there is a home for the barrels that are coming on. And as we look to 2026, the second half, and 2027, the demand outlook for energy continues to be robust when you look at the developed and the developing world. So I think the emotions sometimes impact the short term, and you've got to look at the long-term fundamentals which continue to be positive.
ربما من أكثر الأشياء اللي بتكررها في كل لقاءاتنا لورينزو هو موضوع ال LNG، واللي بتعتبره بأنه سوف يكون ربما ما يسمى بالدرايف لأسواق الطاقة بالمرحلة القادمة. اليوم مع الكثير من المشاريع التي سيتم تسليمها عالميا، هل ما تزال مؤمن بذلك أنه ال LNG هو من سيقود المرحلة القادمة في الطاقة؟
As I've often said before, natural gas is not a transition fuel, it is a destination fuel, and LNG is a key component of that. When you look at the rising need for data centers and also the increasing demand, in our free Q earnings call, we actually took up the required capacity to be installed of LNG from our 800 MTPA in 2030 to 950 MTPA by 2035. We see very robust signals with offtake agreements being at the highest level that they've been year to date in 2025, and we think that this will continue as we go forward. This is the era of gas and it's the age of gas, and Baker Hughes is very well positioned in that.
قد يكون هذا الوقت اللي صرنا متعودين فيه كتير على التذبذبات والتقلبات، وخصوصا في ظل المتغيرات فيما يخص موضوع التجارة العالمية، صار أمر طبيعي. كان لك توقعات سابقة بأنه قد يكون تأثير ما يسمى بالتوترات التجارية على بيكر هيوز قد يتراوح بين 100 ل 200 مليون دولار تقريبا. اليوم نحن عم نشوف أنه في نوع من انخفاض حدة هذه التوترات، هل ما تزال عند هذه التوقعات أو أين تراها في ظل المتغيرات الحالية؟
As we know, the trade element has been a big factor in 2025, and when we came out in April with the estimate for the year of the 100 to 200, there were still a lot of things that we didn't know how they would actually play out, and we gave a number based on the best information we had at that time. As we look at where we are today, given some of the resolution and also some of the positive momentum on getting agreements in place, we see the impact to Baker Hughes being on the lower end of that $100 to $200 million on an annualized basis.
اليوم في آدبك ربما العنوان العريض والأهم هو كيف للطاقة والتكنولوجيا والذكاء الاصطناعي العمل يدا بيد لتحسين ربما مشهد الطاقة العالمي، إيصال طاقة نظيفة، طاقة مستدامة وبأسعار مقبولة ربما للجميع. كيف لهذا الشعار اليوم؟ وخصوصا بأنه بيكر هيوز من الشركات التي اهتمت بموضوع التكنولوجي منذ فترة طويلة. كيف لها اليوم أن تغير شكل أعمالكم وكيف تغير أيضا فرص النمو؟
The theme of ADIPEC is energy, intelligence and impact. And when we look at Baker Hughes, to us, that is really about the whole aspect of the way the energy equation is evolving. And it's the interconnectivity between the industrial world and the energy world. And the portfolio that we have from a services and equipment is directly correlated to satisfying the customer needs and also applying the efficiencies internally with productivity. I think that as we go forward, you're going to see much more connectivity with, as was said this morning, knowledge is power, now power is knowledge. And Baker Hughes, with the energy equation, is at the core of the interconnectivity between the two worlds.
وطبعا كل من لن يكون لديه الاستثمار الصح في التكنولوجيا سوف يعني يترك مثل ما بيقولوا behind، وهذا موضوع مهم جدا. سأنتقل إلى منطقة الشرق الأوسط والخليج. طبعا لكم حضور كبير، تعتبر هذه المنطقة جزء مهم جدا وسنترال ببورتفوليو الشركة وفي أعمالكم. حدثنا أكثر عن آخر طبعا ما يسمى بالوينز اللي صارت في السعودية وفي عمان، وطبعا أعمالكم هنا في الإمارات وغيرها.
The Middle East is a very important region for us, and we call it home in many countries that we have activities in. Saudi Arabia, as you mentioned, Oman, what we're doing here in the UAE, and also what we're doing in Iraq and also Kuwait. And as we continue, we see that the region plays a critical role in being able to provide the molecules and the energy that is required to satisfy the demand that's out there. And as Baker Hughes, we're continuing to localize capability. We have recent wins on coal tubing drilling in Saudi Arabia. We obviously have our LNG projects that are taking place in Qatar as well as here in the UAE. And we see opportunities for mature asset solutions as we go forward. Integrated production management with regards to maximizing the benefit of the great resource that is already in the ground and bring it through to provide energy to the world. And that really helps as we think about the energy equation going forward.
Lorenzo, it's always great to see you. Thank you very much for this sit down and to tell us all this. Always a pleasure to see you and to chat with you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.